Hi, I'm Dwyer with Guardian Jet. Welcome to another in our series of videos for our customers and friends that talking about what's going on in our industry, what's going on in the marketplaces. Today I want to talk about a few things. One is the number of transactions, the activity level in the marketplace. Talk about a few of the markets and what we see going on in those markets. Talk about the impact of 2020 regulatory issues. I also tell you a couple things going on here at Guardian Jet. Very interesting time. I'll start out with a very interesting time for the OEMs. Our OEM new purchasing business is going well. Literally, all the OEMs have interesting things to talk about. You know, there's a lot of speculation of what's coming next at Gulfstream, but the 500 and 600 introduction is going along smoothly. So new airplanes there. 650 still continues to be sort of the rock in that the real rock in their lineup. On the Bombardier side, very exciting to have the 7500 out flying and delivering, and so that's just a huge thing. We also look at the 6500 and 5500 as game-changing airplanes. They're priced very competitively, so it's a very interesting time there. Of course, Dassault with the 8X and the 6X now, not that far out in the future. A lot going on there. Embraer, our good friends down at Embraer with the Praetor series of airplanes, just absolutely incredible. We're seeing them engage more and more into the corporate community, and certainly always done very well in the high net worth individual. And Cessna's got a lot going on. Textron's got a lot going on. So the OEM community feels very healthy right now. A lot of people are talking about new airplanes, and of course the stabilization in pricing in the used market helps that. So our new aircraft buying business is going well right now, and really spread across a lot of different OEMs. So it's pretty exciting there. I want to talk about the used market and the number of transactions. So 2018 was another year. In the 125 to 130 markets that Guardian Jet measures, so not everything that Blue Book measures, not everything that Gamma measures, but in the markets where we play, everything from single engine turboprops through the G650, the Global 7500. 2018 was a great year, a little more than 10% growth over 2017. But what really grew was the number of ultra long range transactions. There was a lot of activity in that large cabin ultra long range transaction business. That's very interesting to us. So 2019 comes along, and anecdotally, I'll tell you, talking to brokers, talking to bankers, to the people in our industry, everybody felt it slowed down a little bit, and we kind of felt the same thing. But our business is doing great. But so we waited till the end of the first quarter, and here's what it looks like in the markets that we measure. In the first quarter of 2018, there were 458 transactions. In the first quarter of 2019, there were 397. About a 13% drop off in number of transactions. I'm not sure that accurately reflects the real picture of those 3 months, because a lot of those deals are hangovers from the end of the fourth quarter. True in both the first quarter 18 and the first quarter 19, but I think we might feel it in the first couple months of the second quarter. I think you'll see that trend continue a little bit, and the number of transactions industry-wide be off a little bit. Now, I will tell you this, anecdotally, it's booming right now. About a month ago, the phone started ringing off the hook. We normally have 20 to 25 airplanes for sale at any given time, and I will tell you, in the last 30 days, maybe 75% of those are somewhere now between LOI and closing. So a big push, a lot of activity in the last 30 days. I don't know what that means, and that's a very small. I still want to wait and look at what the second quarter numbers are like before we start talking about what really happened. But we know right now that activity is good. We also know that as we buy airplanes, there's less airplanes available on the used markets. I'll give you an example. On the 650, or I'm sorry, on the 550 market right now, 3 airplane sales a month for the last 6 months. Very, very active market. But what's different from now versus last year is there are fewer airplanes for sale. So the absorption rate, or the months of inventory that are currently on the market, is very, very low. So when you're buying airplanes, you've still got to be, you might have to go a little farther away than you wanted to if you have to have the airplane now. We are practicing patience with all our customers that we're buying airplanes for, because we want good pedigree airplanes. We want good value, and that's a little bit hard to find right now. A smaller percentage of U.S.-based airplanes in the inventory for sale than we're comfortable with. They get snapped up pretty quickly, so it's something to keep our eyes on. What does that all mean towards pricing? Well, last year pricing stabilized. So what I call a stable market is when you're losing somewhere between 3 and 6% in residual value over the course of a year. And so stabilization, that's way better than the double digits that we saw or double-digit residual value loss that we saw in most airplane markets. So we saw that stabilize. What we have seen and continue to see is in the best pedigree, newest vintage airplanes, they actually increased in value. So I haven't seen that since 2006, 2007, but they actually increased in value. I do think that is slowing. I think that's slowing down, and we're going to start seeing, and there's a couple things we're not ready to talk about, but a couple trends that we're watching in some ancillary markets. As they slide a little bit, we think that everything else is going to soften, so that I don't think we're going back to that double digit. On the good pedigree airplanes, we're not going back to the real horrific residual value loss every year, but we probably are going to see it soften a little bit, and certainly not airplanes get the premium that they've been getting. No evidence of that yet, but it's just something that we're keeping our eyes on. I do think that the regulatory issues coming in 2020 are going to have a dramatic effect on our business. My good friend Rolly Vincent, Rolly and I did a talk together, and Rolly said there's something like 3,000 airplanes in the fleet, call it 20,000, in the general aviation private aircraft, private jet fleet, that will be obsolete by this 2020 regulatory stuff. So what's that going to do to pricing on the lower end? Could that boost pricing on the lower end? I don't know. Certainly it's nice if you're selling an older airplane to have all the regulatory issues complied with. The real question is now, do you do it, or do you just kind of live with what you got and move on, because some values of these airplanes are so low. If you have any questions about that, this is stuff we analyze all the time here at Guardian Jet, and please reach out to us. We can help you with that. But the regulatory issues are going to have a big impact. I'm not ready to say how, but we know they'll have a big impact. A few things going on here, a couple things going on here at Guardian Jet that I want to just touch on. We're just about ready to head over in May to eBase. We're very excited about eBase this year because it's the launch of Vault 3.0. For a lot of you know that we have an online portal for our customers where they can look at values of their airplanes, where we store their documents, where they track the sales going on, they track the activity levels on the airplanes we're selling. The whole myriad of the relationship they have with Guardian Jet can be followed online 24/7, and we're launching the Vault 3.0 version of that. 3.0 is way more user-friendly, much more intuitive, cleaner looking, it's a big jump for us. We've spent a lot of time and energy on it. We're very excited to introduce it at eBase this year. And then the last thing I want to touch on is a lot of our customers know, and certainly a lot of industry, a lot of people in the brokerage community know Samantha Langen in our office. Samantha, or Sam, has been running our internal sales team for the last couple of years and doing a spectacular job of that. Really, really competent professional. Well, Sam has accepted a position with us as our Midwest sales representative. So she'll be still going to be based here in Guilford, but she'll cover Chicago, Minnesota, Minneapolis, the big markets out, Wisconsin. the big markets out in the Midwest. So we're really excited to have Sam join the team that, you know, has to eat what they kill. You know, we wish her every success, but we're pretty sure she's going to be spectacular at that. So congratulations to Sam. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. If you got any questions, please give me a call. Call my brother Mike. Call any of our people here at Guardian Jet. And thank you so much.